Oh, folks, I'm the Red. This is Hollywood Animal. And last we left off, we were on the verge of finishing our Toxic Revenger series. I'm hoping this is the day. Scott Gill, you want to renew your contract? How much you gonna ask? Not much. 1 point. What is that? A $250,000 every year? New story element, Brother in Arms. I'm going to say repeat, Maurice. We can now offer penthouses. And I'm wondering what the luxurious corporate parties do. In fact, I'm wondering so much. Let's have that be the next thing that we research. Oh, you can hold a banquet. And I'm gonna just check here. Tudor Island. Oh, you're going to push on the undead, but that's fine. You're otherwise still fresh here. What is your... It's an ambitious woman and the undead. These are just sticking... There's no men in the film. No men leading any significant roles. But it still just, you know, wants to put men in the film. Don't mourn my death. I'll run against Evergreen. I'm gonna put... Sorry. 24,000 screenings. And then 20,000, 16, 12, same as always. Irvine, you print it for us. We can start advertising on Halloween. Our advertising, I'm gonna post it to women and newspaper, radios, billboards. Pretty sure I clicked on the correct things. Toxic Trail to Walk. Week 4 is doing 1,000. Let's set up distribution, call it not 20,000, 2,000 screenings. Actually, I'm gonna go 2,500. And then this screening will get 0, but I'll pay for like 500. I'm trying to ban 5-year contracts here again. Is the penthouse different from the hotels? I mean, I guess it is. Production can now emergency search for extras. I mean, the only other things we're looking at... Let's do the soundstage. Oh, this is just gonna take so long. It's gonna be a while before you level up too, so might as well push now. Terry, repeat. Unreliable contractor 16 100. Let's just call it 500. I'm not doing the math any deeper than that. I will pay for 100 screenings on that week. We're gonna vote on this, but it's not going through. I'm just gonna abstain. The big guys are all going to say no. Yeah, Gernstein's gonna say no for us, along with Evergreen. No reason for us to spend our influence pushing it when it's already not going through. Gold Digger School. I'm gonna shelve it. And then Light Pollution. This is theoretically the 6th one. We're gonna start project immediately. Comer, why don't we give... Cornelius, why don't you take it? Yeah, no, not worth. I was thinking maybe we could get 1 star. But no, not worth like 2 extra weeks of pre-production. You use the Flumen, you use the film sound. Costume and props would cost us time, so we're not doing it. Okay, we're gonna check dates on contracts. You're good. I don't trust that you're good. Let's give it to Anthony Pete Hodges. Yeah, you're good. Sue, we just hired you recently. You're up to 43, yeah. Janice, same's true of you, 46. Timothy, 42. Jane, you're 45. Demon possessed by... I'm sorry, what? Demon possessed by a schoolgirl? What the heck? That's... Oh, and we're down to the last 5 elements. So, our writers, let's double check our ideas. We have a science fiction, middle-age... No. Victorian England drama. I will go ahead and give that to Joe Sullivan. And then, Herbert, go get us an idea. Oh, and since we're here, I mean... Cinematographer Jesse for sound stage. Pick one. Oh, you like location shooting, actually. So you don't need a sound stage at all. Blue term. For a producer. Yeah, Scott, why don't you pick it up? For a director, say Louis. Wayward Soul. Hazel, you can star in a movie. And for an evil monster. Come on. Betty Lim, it's been a while since you've had a role. I'm gonna give this a few days. Duelist Haven, getting an A- the Kena mark. 3 stars to start off with. 2 stars, 2 stars, 1 star from the Bone Grinder. Okay. Not a good movie. Not by our standards, not anymore. Maybe a few years ago we would have considered this a good movie for us, but honestly, not anymore. Runaway. That's not... What are we looking... Future... Annoying Suitor... Divorce... And a City Siege. Okay. I should be able to remember those more or less. Probably less rather than more. Felix, go ahead, get us another idea. Milton, I'm still going to count on us not getting... I'm still going to count on us needing another film here. Do we? Yeah, sure, I'll give you 2 million. Toxic Trail to walk on... So, a third of 500... let's call it... Let's call it... Well, let's just call it 500. Nah. No, that's excessive. 250. We're getting the 250. No rentals. Jasper Henry. Here now. The 5 years. Oh, you want nothing. And you're... Why? Why? You were a 10-star. Self-importance. You just... Absolute self-flagellation. Luxurious banquet's done. Therefore, let's hold a banquet. The Cave of Wonders here... Wait, what? Oh, there it is. Cave of Wonders. None of these elements are going to go stale from Tudor Island. You are Tropical Island, lovable rogue with a patriarchal figure. I'm gonna go with this one. I don't know. Tudor Island. Let's put this right up against Cupid here. 24, 2016, 12. Irvine will print it in time. Let us... Yeah, we can start advertising a week earlier than we normally would. This applicable to women, older, we'll get newspapers, and Piazzolla. Alma, you want to renew your contract? 5 years. We'll give you the works. You're going to only ask 1 million, maybe a little more. Mysterious guide. Supporting character. Go ahead. Repeat looking for new elements. I'm going to start another project here. Let's specifically look for men-led movies because all of our women their contracts are coming up or they're involved in something else. Chester, you want this shot on location? Sure, good enough. I mean, if we said put the jungle on the soundstage and this native settlement, the island would cost us some quality though. Filming tech, blue tone vivid, frame tone pure. Everything good. Do we... Carl here is 42. We're at the end of 41, so we're looking at someone... Yeah, only 43. Vincent, that'll be you. For... Director... Herbert, why don't you do it? A lovable rogue. What is this? Action? Howard, you haven't played an action in a while. Our sheriff. Edward, and then our tribal chief. Igawa. We're gonna definitely end distribution 0%. I don't think I need to do performance analytics on this. Ooh, the Flumen's suddenly a lot better. Light pollution. Go ahead, start. Second unit, crucial only, minimal takes. Cut down the time. Take a security officer. For our sound tech, let's add another team here. Voting day. They want to add nudity back to the code. Wait, hold on. We're voting on this immediately? I'm going to abstain here. I don't think we have another film that's requiring nudity, and I just don't want to spend... Yeah, that would have been 500 influence from us necessary, and I probably would have overspent. I probably would have said like 1,000. And if I check any of these movies, they're not requiring it. Oh, Open Hours has nudity. We can re-pull it off though. Pre-production saying sets and prop work faster. Amazing locations? How long would you take? Versus sets and props. Amazing costumes. Yeah, we could do amazing costumes and props. It'll get done this year. Thrilling chases are back on the menu. Malo wants to renew her contract. Let's... yeah. 1 million. Or $250,000 a year. Let's start another project here. And maybe we should do a couple of them. Corked bottle. Cinematographer, I'll give this one to Homer. You'll use a soundstage as necessary. Improve quality and cut down on time. The interiors are on soundstage. The town should be on soundstage. The mountains would save us a significant amount of time. And then the interiors are now the longest thing and they're already on soundstage. So, filming tech should be the blue term vivid. Sound tech, frame tone still. Spend as much as you want. Costumes, props, and all of that stuff. Bill, you're looking at 43. Scott, 46. Wait, what? Bill. Scott. There we go. Director, I'll give it to Jasper. For a soldier... I'll go Bob Gray. And then evil monster... Edward, why don't you do it? And stamp this, start it. And I will start another project immediately. Season of Liars. Cinematographer. Jasper. Use the soundstage as necessary, but it looks like it is absolutely unnecessary. So, with that in mind, no soundstage. Film and tech, blue term vivid, sound tech, same as always. We're going to look for, we're at the end of 41, so we're looking for someone whose contract lasts until 43, which Dewey, and then Elmer, hopeless romantic, Malo, heartless bureaucrat, Lydia Globe. There we go. And actually, with that in mind, we didn't use the other soundstage, so we want specifically a movie with just men, because I think, well, maybe we don't. I don't remember. I've already forgotten. It's been seconds, and I have forgotten. Detectives are stale. Let's try to avoid something stale. Trench rats. cinematographer. I mean, you want to shoot on soundstage. Longest thing is going to be the city streets, but we can't reduce. We can't bring it onto a soundstage without reducing quality, and I don't want to reduce quality on this. I see no reason to do so. For producer, we are looking for someone, again, contract that lasts until at least 43. You are on a per movie contract. So if I went to hire a new producer, you're a perfectionist, Terry? I mean, you're asking nothing in terms of money. We say offer you 5 years, give you the works. You're gonna want 200,000. Yeah. Terry, welcome to becoming our newest producer. Director. Why wouldn't I give it to you, Ernest? Because the timeline is narrow. That's actually a pretty good reason. I mean, Roy, you're a gambler, but you're otherwise not a dirtbag that we would refuse simply because you're a dirtbag. You're gonna ask like $1 million and something, but $1.5 million. That's fine. You're quality enough for it. For our daring adventurer, Bobby. Yeah, sure. For our rival, I'm gonna have Oscar pick up this tribal chief role, and Alma, you can be the rival. Duelist Haven, you're week 4. Let's call it 1/3 of 12 is 4,000. Let's set up distribution plans for 5,000 screenings a week. I'm gonna say 250 here because they have to be rentals. Distribution now is saying that we can check out competitor budgets. Sure, hush money. Light pollution. Throw a rat party. Start post. Yeah, same people. Medium on all of these. Start post. And Edward Conway. You're you were going to be in Eye of the Storm but got beaten up. You're the star of Archie Beagle, so I guess we're not doing that sequel. That was the movie where I tried to write a sequel and like the game just wouldn't let me. You're a Bandit in the Amber Heart, Star-Crossed Lances, fun as it gets. Amber Spilt, you're the Bandit in that. Oh, well, I mean, you died at 33. We hired you sometime in 36, 35. And there was a little bit where you didn't do much work for us, but I mean, there's no way for us to see this coming. Yeah, we have to do a recasting, right? What's the role that we're recasting in Evil Monster? Forrest, why don't you take it? Western Kennel. Start post. Take a security officer. Tudor Island's getting released. Toxic Trail to Walk is at 2% of 250. Go ahead and end distribution. I don't actually want to do performance analysts, and I don't think we need to. Tudor Island is B at the Kino mark. Bone Grinder gives it 1 star, but otherwise 3 star, 2 star, 3 star. I mean, this is actually a mediocre film for us. Middle of the road. Maybe could be slightly better. Light Pollution. Don't care if you're stale. You're gonna release on Christmas. Go 12,000 screenings here, 12,000 here. Rentals, I'll only rent 5,000. And I'll only rent 250 there. So your advertising budget, I'm gonna say Velvet Gloss and Spark. There we go. Men, women, old and young. Yeah, I know it's stale. Again, better to have the warning and not needed than to need it and not have it. I'm not upset about it, I just consider it less important than getting the film out. Our writers... Yeah, Milton's not working on anything, but he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be... Well, here it is. 7th September, 41. Japan attacked the American military base at Pearl Harbor. Dozens of warships and aircrafts were destroyed. President Roosevelt addressed Congress and demanded a declaration of war on Japan. The president's feelings were reflected by many in the film industry, as the actor Albert Schultz, this is one of our actors, told the Los Angeles Tribune. I never thought I'd say this, but now all I ever dream about is a rifle and a big bag of ammo. Tim Limpsky, editor-in-chief of the Bolt, answered. Editor-in-chief of the Bolt newspaper argues that all Japanese must answer for the attack on Pearl Harbor, including those who live in America and even those who are born here. Can't take Japan out of the Japanese. And since we have clearly identified Japan as the enemy, we must be consistent and treat all Japanese as enemies. The time for decisive action is now. Well, considering logically, therefore, we must consider the same things for the Germans, because Japan and Germany is allied at this juncture, right? That's why we end up at war with Germany. So everyone with any German heritage must be treated the same as Japanese. Albert Schultz is volunteering for the front. If fate smiles, you'll see each other again. Our banquet is done. We now have the Pacific Theater. No one to worship. Let's go ahead and shelve this. Charlie Graham wants to renew the contract. $500,000 a year. Double reputation for loyalty. Reputation's not our problem. Let's pick up this. I'm waiting. It's right here. Harlan Starsurf, host of the Pulitzer Awards and one of America's most beloved comedians, has volunteered for the Air Force. As he was heading off to boot camp, he spoke with fans on the platform at Union Station in LA. As an honest man and a patriot, I simply cannot stand aside. But please don't worry, viewers. Just imagine what a great comedian I'll be when I come back with a Purple Heart on my chest. Jokes are always funnier when you deliver them from a position of moral superiority. Fun Times was on hand to capture Starsurf's final words to his fans as he boarded the train, smiling. Well, that's an ominous thing to say. His final words. Already. Ooh. This was one of our trash elements. Terry. And I see here that one of our writers is not writing. Modern American Action Last Survivor, but it's historical. I'm gonna have you research an idea. War is hell. Yeah. Maurice, you are a detective writer, so go ahead and write this detective movie. Police are gonna raid us. Remember not to click the bribe button. Peter Harris, yesterday I saw a guy at a restaurant leave a waitress $100 for a tip. He said, "I'm going to war, so I don't need this." At the moment I realized that I don't want to stand on the sideline. I wonder if they'll let me take my own hunting rifle. Peter is off to war. As is Pete. My uncle didn't have time to volunteer for the last war. He still regrets it. I don't want to have any regrets, so tomorrow I'm going to the front to kill those bastards. Homer, yeah, go ahead and repeat training. Yeah, you can get a boost. Anthony Campbell, one of our directors. I remember my granddad's story about the Civil War. He fought for our right to be Americans. Wait, hold on. Let's be clear about this. Which side of the Civil War did he fight on? Now it's my turn to defend our freedom. Charlie Graham, we just hired you to a new contract. Why did you... Can't hang around making movies while my friends are having fun beating up the... Decided to volunteer. Don't even try to talk me out of it. Um, 6%, 300. We're gonna set up distribution. We get 100 on this day. 500 here. I will give you 50s on these days. And I realized that we were already pressed light pollution. Ronnie Rowe, another person volunteering for the war. Our trash... Got 1 stars. But it's out. That's the important thing, right? There we are. 6 sequels to a single trash film within a year. And there's all of them. Yeah, we did it. We did it. Which means we get to switch policies. We're gonna choose a new policy. I don't know what the bonuses for this is. And honestly, we haven't been doing many trash films. I mean, we're gonna play with them now. You won't be able to adopt different policies, is the real thing that it's like. Yeah, I'm gonna choose a new policy. So the behemoth is... spending a lot of monies. The factory is just doing them, but boutique. I mean, this is genuinely... a large part of why I went Trash King was because someone asked me to, and I was like, well, okay, sure. No reason not to do it. This is the one that feels the most genuinely me. If I'm running a studio, we're going boutique. And it's probably, I mean, in terms of timing, I'm not sure it's good in terms of the war, but in that we now have these actors who they've hit their skill caps, they need training to move forward, and we can bring in the trash to have people like you do a few trash films for us, and you just churn through them, you learn from that, and then you move on to becoming better actors through our boutique policy that we're setting up. Feels correct. So 5 stars with artistic talents. And then yeah, this didn't list. Like if this listed the other things that we could do and what benefits we might get and not get, I might have been more willing to do it, but it didn't, so I'm not. We're gonna build our film school. We're gonna build our film school. Here. And let's make sure it's well built. Surviving in wartime. So, our writers. You're a romance writer. And yeah, the Toxic Revenger. We're retiring that. We've done enough of them. I'm not going to keep chewing through them. We will do more trash. But we're going to write a film first. A film or two. I check our released films. We haven't released anything significant lately. Finding Your Man was probably the last one where I really cared. If I check, and I just want to be certain about this, light pollution. Yeah, Pete Hodges, he is grayed out because he's at war. Chinese ribbon. Howard. I mean, this was kind of a what-off because the premise, Finding Your Man, with the woman being the serial killer, was kind of like, twist, women commits violence. I don't feel like that begs for a sequel. Honestly, I think what we're gonna do, and let me check the writers, this is going to be a good couple of years before we do this. So I'm gonna go to Story Workshop. We're going to start with a new movie. And Face of War. It's going to be action, drama, thriller. Let's have action drama be equal parts. Our setting is going to be World War II in Europe. Our protagonist. Do we want brother-in-arms? Or do we want just a soldier? I think maybe brother-in-arms. We follow a fire squad. I'm using that term correctly, right? Fire squad? Why do I feel like that's wrong? And I'm thinking, I mean, none of these are just, you know, ultra and turned enemy. For supporting characters, well, let's first have the finale. Okay, elements. big battle scene. We want... tank combat, war is hell. For our finale... antagonist gets killed. For our supporting characters... I'm thinking villain's right hand. Angry boss. I mean, like, I don't know if the angry boss is going to count as, you know, a superior officer. But I'm like, that's what I'm imagining when I say angry boss. Mentor. I want to make the villain's right-hand man a woman, because otherwise we're not going to have any real women in this movie. And I'm going to cut down our brother's arm to 3 people. I'm gonna say... serve your nation, with the idea that the old friend turned enemy, he's not, you know, he's a German soldier, but these guys were, you know, they were friends, and he just happened to be German and went back just prior to the war breaking out. Like screenwriters. I mean, you're... Herbert, I guess you're going to be the one writing it. I mean, if I... what said freelancers? Yeah, none of them are as skilled as you, Herbert, or none of them are more skilled than you. And then I'm going to story workshop. Trash. The action, comedy, sci-fi, with the setting being I'm looking for modern American city. And then our trash elements are romantic with popcorn limbs. I mean, we can get this out of the code. And we can now do multiple trash elements too. So I say that, ooh, maybe we go Wizard War. And we set this in... So what's the difference between Arthurian Legends and Fantasy Kingdom? I mean, I guess Arthurian Legends, we're leaning on the actual Arthurian Legends. That's the answer, right? So let's drop the sci-fi, action, adventure, comedy. We go more adventure, split something like that. We want Wizard War. Evil Witch is an obvious antagonist. We end up using a knight as our protagonist. Finale is kind of what I kind of want is the antagonist escapes justice. I'll go with Evil Exposed. And then I want a wizard as a sidekick. Villain's right hand should be a man. Let's throw in a worried wife. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Let's throw in a sidekick. And mysterious guide. Let's consider themes. Cursed deal. Jousting. Yeah, there. And then we need a name for this. I'm actually hesitating on the name. I mean, we'll go with this Wizard War for now. I might change it later. Select screenwriter. You're a sci-fi writer, but it doesn't matter. You're not going to introduce sci-fi to this. Like, normally when I'm writing the scripts for things, like when I'm doing the scripts from the ideas, they interject their own ideas based on what they're good at, right? So we need to make sure those match up. But if it's just your quality at writing this, I mean, this is trash anyways, so it doesn't really matter if you're good at writing those particular elements. You're going to write the movie as I put it down. You're not going to go off script here. Want a second unit? Yeah, sure. Distribution 4 weeks. 20% of 12 is 2,400. Let's give you 4,000. 2,000, 150, 4,000, something like that. Bruce, you want to renew your contract? Uh, go ahead, finish prep for the police raid. Felix, I'm gonna have you write us another trash film here. Jack Murray, you want to renew your contract. I hope you're not like those other guys who's like, I want to renew my contract and then run off to war. Because I'm assuming the contracts are going to keep ticking while they're at war. And Trench Ratch, why don't you go into production proper? Our annual report saying our costs have risen a little bit more. We are now have comparable money to the bigs. Corked bottle, go ahead. And I'm just pushing these last couple into production. Oh, there was something else there that I didn't look at. Okay, here's our box office successes. American Stardust, Search for the Black Cloak, Finding Your Man, Eye of the Storm, Unreliable Contractor. All did great at the box office. We did not have the most critically acclaimed movie. That would go to Clatter from... Who made you? Gernstein. Yeah, the Bone Grinder liked it. And that's really... They're really the ones that sway it. Budget. I'm assuming that's including promotional materials. 2.7. We had... It's a European city movie. There was an evil witch and a cowboy. War is hell. Generational conflict. One last job. The antagonist repents. Modern European city. That's a little interesting. It's not World War II. It's not the war, but it's sort of like an alternate war. Eye of the Storm, the most fan favorite movie of the year. It was a great war, sci-fi. Clatter almost there, except they didn't market it quite right. And then we got a bunch more. Bruce Quinn leveling up. I'm gonna say take the influence like this. Spend the influence like that, I should say. Or learn to. Genevieve established as a femme fatale. Howard established as a rival. And Search for Liars, or Season of Liars, my bad, is in production with your security officer. I will give you a second unit. And I mean, I think we're looking good. The war, I wonder what all we're going to experience from the war now that we're, you know, actually involved in it. Because, I mean, first we've seen a bunch of our actors run off to volunteer, which, okay, makes sense. That was a thing that happened. But a lot of men are going to be leaving for the war, and women are going to be taking over roles. And I don't know what all the fallout's going to be for us. I mean, I know a lot of the fallout real life, but for us, who knows? We're not running quite like the bigs did in real life. We're a little more. We have a lean to us, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Uh, so I don't know how that's going to affect us. We're going to start producing. I'm going to start writing more movies. Now that we've done the trash thing, we have our film school uh, produced, being being built, and we're going to start putting people through film school because that's how they do. We need to get a bunch of actors, and we can maybe just check that here. I check anyone free. You're not artistic. What we're looking for is people that are artistically inclined, like Frank here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say 5 years. How much you want? 3.5? Sure. And I mean, I'm assuming what was his name? Taka. One of our actors is about to go to a concentration camp. Because they mentioned it in the description on the Pearl Harbor attack that at least one guy was like, hey, we need to do some racial violence here. I'm looking through and I'm seeing at the bottom of the list here, I'm seeing no one that is artistically inclined. Obviously, no one's a star. That wouldn't make sense, but if we check our own actors, I am seeing Pete is artistic, but he's at war. Albert's the same. So we've got Genevieve, Alma, Alfred, Frank, and that's it. We don't have enough to do 5 people in an artistic movie. So we've got if we go to the employment center, Wilson Gray, you're saying no, but we've got dirt on you. If I said search for dirt, why are you so likely to fail this? Oh, you're Keith Woods. You're not our Keith. Sorry, this is not our security office. Keith, you're gonna train. And we're gonna train up a couple of guys here to be better agents, and maybe they're going to be, because if we check the actors in the employment center, I say anyone with artistic status, we've got 3 here. And maybe I'm just gonna say... we can force your hand here. And that's actually 5. So next time we'll write a film with the idea of those 5 artistic actors we have, because we have to just write their gender roles in. But all of that's consideration for next time. If you've enjoyed this Let's Play so far, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you next time, where we will continue moving on from our trash films, making something a little more boutique. How far are we from Soundstage 4? Years. Years and years and years. So, with that in mind, I'm actually going to do one last thing here, which is... we might as well get these built. Because we need them. We're going to need them. We're going to start cranking up our movie production slowly. Let's not do it too quickly while the war's starting. But as I was saying, that'll be next time. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you there.